I just gave them the character. I probably wrote the character at 2. They took it to 200. And they made the character. They took responsibility, the accountability. सब कुछ लिया इन्होंने. सब कुछ किया. I just wrote it and ये ले भाई character ले. But thanks to all these three, the film is what is you see. You know. The film belongs to them, to Obik and to Urvashi, and they are the one who made the film. Wow. You know, my editor, my cinematographer, and these three amazing, amazing people.
Sujay was very clear from day one of how he wants to make the film. I think he's been living with the film for quite some time. So I think it is in his blood, the film. So he was very clear of where he wants to shoot it, how he wants to shoot it, who should be in the film. So in fact, he made it easier. We just had to make sure his vision gets... he gets everything to make the film.
You're right, Mini. It's one genre that is consumed so much. Like, and from a global Netflix perspective, this is one genre where film, series, anything which really taps into, human curiosity and mystery that you have to unravel. Streaming is all about, of course there's lean forward, like there's lean back viewing, but crime and mystery and thrillers are very lean forward viewing. And as human beings, we love that intensity, wanting to know what happened. So I think Jaane Jaan was just such a beautiful and heady mix, I would say, of romance and crime and amazing characters that, the three of them have brought to the screen. Each of them, I can't think of, anyone else playing Maya D'Souza. Like Kareena is Maya and Maya is Kareena. And, Naru and Vijay's character is the cop who looks very sweet, but we don't know. I mean, who knows who's good, who's bad. Everybody has shades of grey, and when they come together, there's a heady cocktail that happens, and that's the story that Sujay has woven, and that's the story that I think Jayu and Akshay, and by the way, I want to just call out that this is our first time partnering with Jayu and Akshay, and it has been such a wonderful partnership, such a giving partnership that we've had. It's been truly collaborative, and I really hope you'll work with Netflix again, both of you. Ooh. And Sujay, of course, and all of you. I mean, we are not letting you guys go anywhere, just like Vijay's been doing. I think all of you, we are going to ensure that we tie you guys down to Netflix. We're so happy about the way Jaane Jaan. Sorry?
I can tie them up.
Yeah, he's your agent, he's special.
Of course. I mean, last time... Yeah, he got tied up last time in the chair.
As a revenge.
Yeah, as a revenge, he can tie everybody else up. So I think Jaane Jaan has really come together in such a smoldering and such a brilliant way that I think it just dishes the core of the genre. जो सबको crime और mystery thrillers में जो भी appeal करता है, that's like absolute center of plate. So, it just keeps you hooked there. So I'm very excited.
I personally enjoy watching thriller, crime, mystery. That's generally my go-to, even when I'm watching Netflix or whatever. I'm steered towards that. So when I read this story, I was like, I think it's just amazing because it's out of a personal choice. I think जब आप खुद ऐसी films देखते हो या ऐसी shows देखते हो, you are more wanting to kind of do that. So what better to be debuting on Netflix than with a thriller? So it was like a kind of a instant kind of a feeling.
So you didn't have second thoughts about it, you were going to do it the moment you read it?
Yeah, for sure. And also, of course, you know, I've loved Sujoy's work, and we've always wanted to work together. Like I said, for over a decade, we've been back and forth.
It's one thing to do a lot of makeup to look pretty.
Yeah, it's a lot of
And
makeup that was
thing,
unpretty.
another thing to sit in front of the mirror for 2 hours and look like that.
Basically, you said that he's looking ugly in the movie.
No, but it is very unusual. So,
That basically that you're looking ugly in the movie. He's saying that too.
I didn't say that. I love Jaideep. I would have done it.
He didn't even blink an eyelid.
दादा told me it's a love story. Beauty was वाला beast वाला मामला है. मैंने कैसे बनाओगे? मैंने मेरे पास एक look है. And I know he was very scared कि ये बताऊंगा और ये मना करने वाला है. But it
बाद में
was
बताया.
amazing. Just looking those pictures, मैंने कहा ये करने में मजा आएगा. And then there is a beauty. ये possible नहीं कि उसके प्यार में ना पड़ा जाए.
of course.
तो वो बहुत आसान पार्ट था. 20 दिनों ने बना दिया था.
I think it's really a completely new take on what I've done in the past. I've completely stayed away from what I had created before. It's a very new version of me, and on screen. And actually, you've seen the trailer, so there are glimpses of some action shoot. There's glimpses of certain kind of a presence which I didn't have before. So that is new, and I also feel like the dynamics between the three of us is something that people have never seen before. So that's very new and fresh. I have a very long and loving relationship and friendship with Jaideep. We go back a long way.
FTI days?
Yeah, we went to the same class at the film school.
You were on the same batch?
Yeah. So as soon as I knew Jaideep is in the film and there's Kareena in it, I was like, I'm sold. I'll get to hang out with my friend, my old pal, and I get to hang out with this incredible gentleman, Sujay Ghosh, who's very thoroughly entertaining. I call him Bengali British.
Perfect.
And we got to work with the goddess.
Herself.
जैसे मुझे भी पता चला था कि विजय वो कर रहा है, मेरे लिए बहुत आसान हो गया था क्योंकि मुझे अब उस पार्ट को तैयार करने की, उस रिलेशनशिप को तैयार करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, जेन्युइनली ज़रूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज इट्स बीन लाइक 15-17 ईयर्स वी नो ईच अदर. क्लास में रोज़ एक दूसरे से काम करके साथ में काम किया है, फिल्में देखी हैं, टीचर्स की गालियाँ खाई हैं, तो वो सब हम उस प्रोसेस से साथ में निकले हैं. सो द मोमेंट यू नो कि आपका कोई एक्टर ये है जिसको आप कुछ भी बोलोगे, कुछ भी बात करोगे, किसी तरह से भी डिज़ाइन करोगे, इट्स लाइक इम्प्रोवाइजेशन का एक रूल होता है, यू कांट से नो टू इट बेसिकली. तो उस पार्ट को बिल्कुल भी तैयार करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी. द मोमेंट आई सी विजय, आई नो कि हाँ ये हो जाएगा.
जय और विजय तो है ही नाम में.
हाँ, वीरू करने की जरूरत नहीं, जय विजय भी हो सकता है.
Perfect. There you have it.
See, when you read the book, it's kind of set in a small hamlet of Tokyo. So I needed that. I needed a small place which is very academic, where there's this man teaching maths to a high school, and where a mother is trying to, restart her life. So it all fell into place in Kalimpong, where you could create a world like that, and in comes another man looking for another man. So too many men, one woman. And Kalimpong gives me that mystery, that little hilly, the fog. And I think that's very important to have in the kind of thriller that we are trying to set in Jaane Jaan. And I knew that terrain. I know that terrain very well.
The thing with Sujay is that once the film starts, there's no worry left for the producer. It's all his problem then. He takes it forward completely.
Okay.
So on day one, I think we knew that this is going to go the way it is planned. And Sujay knows Kalimpong. We were going for the recce to Kalimpong actually, and he had said we'll go for 7 days. And the recce got over in like 6 hours. Because everything was planned in his head. I'm going to shoot this here, I'm going to shoot this there, I'm going to shoot here.
Amazing.
And it was all planned actually before the recce.
They intimidated me because they were so prepared that I was like, and anyway, I had gone with the thought. Saif had already told me, he's like, listen, this is not कि तुम band से makeup लगा के set पे जाके dialogue बोलोगे. He's like, please stop this attitude because you are working with Jaideep Ahlawat and Vijay Verma. Be prepared. They are going to be improvising and doing everything. And I was like,
No stress, no
So he was
pressure.
like, you better be on your toes because, ये नहीं है कि it's like a picnic. So he had warned me. So I was like, anyway, I have to be a little more like, jaise ke student, when you go to the class, you have to constantly like be alert. He's like, stop being that backbencher and now aage aake thoda kuch karo. I said, yeah, I have to. So I was like constantly watching them, that it was, because I know that like Jaideep is always so like prepared and, composed. Obviously that was his character. Vijay, I've realized, is a bit like me in the sense he's laughing and everything on the set and whatever, but his every take is different from the other. But it's also very thought of. I can tell that he's like thought of everything, that the way he's going to say it, what's going to happen. So I think just being in that environment, I was also on my toes, and I'm so happy that I was, because I think an actor should constantly be threatened by other actors on set.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it's just going to be, So it's nice to have that slight alertness around, like, okay, whatever, what's happening, I should also be prepared. Is he going to like give me a look? Is he going to be, what's going to happen slightly different? So I think the whole process was, but we all three were really prepared, I think. मेरे बारे में भी कुछ अच्छा बोलो, सब आपके बारे में अच्छा बोल रहे हैं. हाँ,
It was lovely to interpret
FT आया है and all, तो then I am like, मेरे बारे में भी बोलो यार.
वो FT आया है ना फिल्म इंडस्ट्री की. वो
आप
है.
कितनी तैयारी करके आ जाओ सेट पे, जब आप करीना कपूर के सामने खड़े होते हो, जब आपको उनकी आंखों में देख के लाइन बोलनी पड़ती है ना, तो कैमरा भी हिलता है, आके तो आदमी छोड़ दो आप, तो बड़े-बड़े लोगों को हिलते देखा है मैंने.
So I'm just very happy that I was with them.
I want to thank Saif Ali Khan.
Yeah,
Because अगर वो नहीं होते तो इनको पता भी नहीं होता ये कौन है ये लड़के ने.
Thanks,
watching
sir.
everything.
Perfect. I can imagine this conversation in a
Yeah.
room.
So I was like terrified. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
I think it's the easiest and the most difficult question that can be asked, because really when an idea comes, a pitch comes, when producers bring it or creators bring it, or a talent wants to, sort of star in a story, I think we have to think of that story by itself, and we have to think of what we can do with it on Netflix. Like, how can Netflix serve that story and take it to everyone across the world at the same time in so many different countries and cultures? What is that absolute, appeal of that story to your own audience in that country? And then, beyond that, what is the universality of that story? What are the emotions it taps into? So I think selecting stories is a function of, like I said, the story itself, what we can bring to it as Netflix as the strongest global sort of distribution platform, the creative streaming platform, and what can it really do for the audiences here and everywhere else. So I think all of that is playing across in our minds as a team. We see the vision of the creator, like what is Sujay thinking, what do Jay and Akshay want to do, what kind of story do they want to tell, and then who's the talent that should be upfronting the story. So I think it's always a very amazing mix of everything, and like you rightly said, you tell many, many stories, and then there are some where you just know. You know when you know that magic has happened, that something that you were trying to put together, like it's got its own energy and it's moving in a direction. So I think that feeling is very special. And I think Jaane Jaan is that feeling.
Has it.
It is that emotion. So, I mean, that's the process of...
Nayan, very different question from you. And at least you're not asking me to do dance on Jaan.
I know, what a nice
for your
question.
reel. Huh? I think I know Nayan wants that. Huh, Nayan? I know you better. Acha, later. Okay, pakka. But I think that it's nothing, there's no thought behind anything. I think as an actor, everyone wants to try and do something different at every stage in their life. Of course, with me, it's always been very difficult because I've always been like known for that, whether it's poo or geet, or like I said, even in the announcement thing, कि वो एक दिमाग में बैठ गया है. So that has been a conscious effort that at least now I want to do different things. Even though I have always tried, but people still always push those roles ahead. They don't give the films that I have done before and chosen the characters, whether it was Dev, Yuva, Chameli, Omkara, whatever I've always tried to, but they still go back to that. But hopefully now, I mean, I'm going to keep trying to do it. And I know they will keep coming back to Poo and Geet. Because even for this, I know everyone globally will watch Jaane Jaan. Because everyone is eagerly awaiting for the film. I think it's more so not because of me coming on OTT. I think it's the entire team and the combination that everyone's waiting to watch. And I'm sure that on 21st September, Netflix subscribers are going to triple.